Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, it's the week, right?
The week we're doing this podcast, sir.
Yes, no, it is the week that I run my first half marathon, Eric. Will you please wish me luck?
No, it will not.
Oh, shit.
You don't need luck. You got this shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I just want to put it out there that I'm doing it. And if we don't do more than the next 2 episodes, then it means I died during the marathon.
Chris isn't worried about it's going to be hot. There's going to be up to 20-mile-per-hour winds. We're not going to tell him which direction those are blowing in to boost his confidence.
I am worried about the winds. I'm also worried about the heat. I've already decided to wear a tank top and my shortest shorts.
There you go.
So
good.
I'll be looking good out there on the course.
Hey, pro tip, walk through the water stations and dump the water not only in your mouth, but also over your head.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. Is it going to rain?
No, probably not.
Okay,
it always ends up some shit happens always. But
I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to wear a hat or not.
If it's raining, you definitely want a hat.
If there's a chance of rain, I wear a backwards hat and then flip forward when it rains.
Yeah, only flip it when it rains.
I only flip it when it rains. That's right. It's part of it's the next evolution of the Ross system.
Right, surely helps you.
Flip it when it rains.
Okay, well, I hope you don't shit yourself. I hope you get proper nutrition. I hope you don't collapse as soon as you cross the finish line, and I'll be there waiting for you, bud.
Thanks. You're gonna be waiting a while. You know that, right?
I mean,
what is your half marathon time? Your goal?
My best time?
What do you think you're going to get on Saturday?
Well, I ran one last week and got 1 hour, 22 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, you're probably going to be, if you wait for me, you're not obliged to do this, of course. But if you wait for me, you're going to be waiting for me for like an hour.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I usually hang around there that long anyway.
Okay. Well, do they have good food at the end?
Depends, really. Sometimes it's chocolate milk. Sometimes it's, hey, give us $5 for this donut.
Fuck, I'll give, that's a good time to bamboozle somebody when they just got done running a half marathon.
Right.
You want to hear some hot sounds?
Yes.
All right. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about classic Japanese role-playing games, even tactical ones, where we discuss them chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back to Season 6. We are covering Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions. My name is Chris. Hi. He's Eric. Hey.
Just call me Dice Dark.
Dice-a-darg. Do you think there's a syllable, is it 2 syllables or 3 syllables? Dice-a-darg or dice-darg?
One darg, one dice.
One dog, one dice.
One dog, one dice.
Sounds good. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record this podcast live on a secret video feed by going to patreon.com/retroam. Hello, RealNet, and thank you for joining us once again.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion who mastered all of the available weapons for selection in Radiant Silvergun.
Initializing Fake Net.
I just got a job writing for GamePro, and I want to tell you that Radiant Silvergun is Radiant Silver. Fun.
Radiant Silvergun, a video game for the Dreamcast.
Sega Titan Video System ported to Sega Saturn.
And they re-released it at some point, right?
For XBLA and most recently on Switch. The ports are a little frame compromised, though.
It's not on PC?
No. Well, I don't think so. But if you want that pure experience, just emulate the Saturn or buy a Sega Saturn because Radiant Silvergun is worth that shit.
Cool. They don't make them like they used to.
No, Treasure doesn't exist anymore. That's primarily the reason why. What does exist, though, is Eagrose Castle.
It does, Eric. We just got done rescuing the Marquis.
Can we talk about the word Marquis? I think it's Marcus.
Marquis.
We say it Marquis, but the Fake Net says Marcus, and she's British.
A marquess is a nobleman ranking above a count and below a duke.
It's actually like Marquis.
But doesn't the Fake Net just say things literally? I mean,
I looked at movies where they say that title. Like it's like a title, and like Marquis is like the thing that you put like to advertise your business or whatever.
The screensaver, the scrolling Marquis.
The scrolling Marquis. Marcus.
Put dumb shit motherfucker on there to surprise your dad.
Yeah, my dad loves dumb shit motherfucker. He loves cussing and taking a shit. So
yeah.
I don't
know. Okay, so I do have, before we go to Eagrose Castle, I do have some business to attend to real quick.
Oh yeah, it's about the word Marquis and how we're pronouncing it incorrectly.
No, it's about my big dumb idiot moment.
Oh, okay, good. I love this. No, let me lean back and watch you be stupid.
We discussed about the ability called Gained JP Up that I think you had already given all of your characters. I had not. Of course, yeah. I had not done this yet by the time we last recorded because I failed to realize that when you go to learn skills, there are multiple tabs.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know that. I was like, well, maybe the PlayStation version doesn't have gained JP up, and I'm just fucked. But I did discover the tabs finally after fumbling through the UI a little bit. So to clarify, we have our pool of active skills: a reaction skill, an equipment skill, and a move skill. Those are the 4 types of skills that you can have. So now I have my gain JP up, my move +1, my move +2, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this game has a lot of nested menus, and if at any point either one of us says there's a menu that I didn't know existed, it is a valid thought.
Yeah, I think there's another one of those coming up later. This was before the game UI was a science, I think.
Yeah, before it was someone's entire fucking job.
Have you ever noticed how every single modern game, the pause screen is exactly the same with the R2, L2 moving across the tabs across the top?
Kind of. There's that, and then there's the trend Destiny started where I have a controllable cursor with my analog stick, even though I'm not on a fucking computer.
Oh, I don't love that.
Yeah, it's
I don't
terrible.
love that. I don't know if I've seen that lately, but it does seem like it's become kind of the unified thing. Also, before we get going, I think now it would be an appropriate time for us to do some character profiles for some of our family members that we've met.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about my family, Chris.
The aforementioned Daisadarg Bellevue.
Where the hell is this information coming from?
This is coming from the Chronicle. Or
the Chronicle, right, yeah.
Or the Brave Story in my case, yes.
The thing that I ignore. Go ahead.
Yes, I also sometimes ignore this. Daisadarg, he's age 37.
Old as shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's like Sidon plus 10.
Yeah. He's one of the troop leader under Prince Larg, your oldest brother. Following his late father, Balbane's wishes, he gave up his position as the leader of the Hokuton Knights to his younger brother.
Northern Sky Knights, please.
Yes. Became the troop leader for Prince Larg and is the most trusted, period. Also known to have magical skills as a, proper noun, magic fencer.
You mean a brave fencer, a Musashi.
Not brave fencer, dear Quark. Magic fencer, Musashi.
Was that a Lunar reference?
Yes. It's a Lunar and a Brave Fencer Musashi reference nested together. We did it. We won the podcast.
My DJ Hero mashup over here.
We won. Also, I have the character profile for Zalbag Belev, our other brother. He's age 28. As the leader of the Hokuton Knights, he is considered to be a holy knight, your older brother. With many victories in the 50-Year War, he has been praised by King Denamunda as a, quote, savior of Ivalice in Galleon. Under the name of Bellevue, there is victory. As an undefeated warrior, he is also a devout believer in the teachings of Glabados.
Hey, this prose kind of sucks. Is it from your game or my game?
It's from my game.
Okay.
It sucks. The teachings of Glabados, have you heard the word Glabados yet?
Not in my game.
I think that just means like God or Jesus Christ. Like that is
right, yeah, Glabados.
That is the deity
Galapagos.
of the church here, yeah.
Fucking finches.
So anyway, that's all I've got for that particular stuff. Before I went to Eagrose Castle, I also did something fun and leveled some guys up. And as I leveled guys up in random battles, I wrote down what I will call my battle notes. Mm-hmm. Would you like me to read my battle notes?
Please tell me all about them. Perhaps I can learn from them.
I fought a battle in the desert, first of all, and I'm really in love with the skeleton sprite. Is that what it's called in your game?
There's an enemy called Skeleton Sprite?
No, skeleton. The sprite of the skeleton is what I like.
I believe it's just skeleton.
Okay, yeah. It's called skeleton in mine too, but I like the sprite. The 2D art.
I don't know that I fought one of those.
Really? Well, it's not really a skeleton, so maybe it's not called skeleton in your game.
Okay.
It's a monster with ram horns and a purple cape.
Oh, the cloak-wearing dead men, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's called skeleton in my game. I don't know what it's called in yours. Do you?
No, I don't. Fake net. What's that called?
Initializing fake net.
It's still skeleton, and not to be confused with its palette-swapped variants, Bone Snatch and Living Bone.
After that, I taught Hornst and Ramza the tactic Weapon Break. The knight skill.
Oh, you mean rend weapon.
Rend. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I love it.
All the break shit for me is rend.
God, it's so good. Also, I changed Lester into a thief and learned the technique Steal Heart, which is a charm skill.
Oh, what the fake net has done for you, stolen your heart.
Yes, like a phantom thief. I did notice that it only works on the opposite sex. So the phantom thieves can only steal hearts of the opposite sex.
That's why there's a variety of genders.
Yes, it also means the church has outlawed homosexuality, and for that we will kill God.
That's right.
Yes.
A lot of my own equipment has been rended in battles in this video game, and what has surprised me is it didn't just de-equip my helmet, it destroys my helmet.
It's fucking gone.
So I have to go to the store and buy another helmet or stock up on helmets so I don't have to go to the fucking store.
I do believe there should have been some editorial decisions to not give the enemies some of these skills because they're very annoying.
Speaking of annoying, I don't care if random fuckwad I'm fighting out in the swamp levels up twice during the battle. He's going to die anyway. I don't need to know what his name is or that he leveled his job class up.
You mean you don't like encountering a goblin named Latinos?
I mean, I like that part. I like knowing their names. I like knowing the names of people I kill. I think there's like some Metal Gear Solid 3-ness to that, where I have to like walk through the swamp to meet their specters to be satisfied with what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need to know about their job level up stuff.
I can agree with that.
We need to make the Eric edit of this game that just gets out of the stuff that I specifically find irritating.
Okay, well, the first thing,
remove all combat.
Monsters can't level up.
All right.
No weapon breaking for the enemies. Also, I made Ramza a monk now, and historically, for whatever reason, I've always made Ramza a monk, or a ninja, or a combination of the two.
Currently, in my present playthrough of this game, which is much further than this, all of my character classes are monks, and I'm rolling with that until it doesn't work.
All monks.
Yeah.
That probably works, because monks are really good.
Yeah, they just beat the shit out of people. And you know what? You can't break their weapons, because they ain't got none.
Also, at some point, I was leveling up some of my squires by just beating the shit out of Ramza.
How many people do you have on your team?
Well, I have a rotation of like 4 or 5 different guys that I bring in and out. And they were throwing rocks, but one of them didn't have the rock throw skill yet. So I just had him go hit Ramza. And
it's like a hurt me more thing?
Yeah, just to get some JP while I'm, waiting for the...
Beat the JP out of me, son.
But I forgot that I had counter equipped on Ramza, and Ramza just fucking one-shotted the squire. And
Hell yeah.
His own
Fuck
guy.
him. He's done.
Also, I don't like beating the shit out of chocobos. Mm-hmm. It makes me sad. I don't like their almost dead pose.
I mean, you don't kill them, you just beat them up. Even in Final Fantasy's past, hitting chocobos on accident has just been part of the battle, especially when they strike first and attack you. They have razor sharp claws on their feet.
Yeah. Also, I hired a new character and I named her Selfie.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna begin naming my characters after characters from previous seasons of this podcast that we really, really liked.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Forrest Lester's Selfie.
Mm-hmm. That won't be confusing at all.
No, not at all. Also, I got a couple more incantations to perform here. Would you like me to perform some incantations?
Do it, please.
Okay. Precious lights, be our armor to protect us. Protect. Spirits of life, return to us. Raise. Like raise from the dead?
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I can't afford that spell yet. Sorry.
Cindy the Time Mage casted this spell. Time. Rest and give your kindness to the worthy. Slow.
Give my kindness to the worthy. I get it. No.
The kindness of time would be to slow down, right? And so those who are worthy...
No, it's to get the fuck on with it. Let me do my job and go home and eat tacos.
But the spell is slow. It's not haste. It's slow.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not a kindness to me, though. Not in my reality.
If you couldn't get an extra 3 hours in the day...
If there was an extra 3 hours in the day, the man would make me work it.
That's a good point. But what if your time was given to the worthy and only the worthy could get it? The man couldn't touch it.
There'd be some law where the man would be the only one worthy. You know how this works, man.
Yeah.
That or I've just spent it doing podcast stuff, which is also work.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, anyway, I'm ready to go to Eagrose Castle.
All right, Eagrose Castle. Let's go play this video game.
Yep.
Music, Dice Darg's theme plays, and this is the first time I think it's played for Dice Darg. Usually it's the game's like been flipping them.
Yeah.
Dice Darg themes play when we talk to Zalbag, Zalbag's theme play when we talk to Dice Darg.
Confusing.
Yeah, it's very odd. So Regal Tune and Argath, Ramza, and Delita walk into the small banquet room to find Dice Darg sitting at the big table by himself, surely gobbling up a big boy cookie dinner.
And there's 4 empty chairs and he does not invite us to sit.
It's a measure of disrespect, Chris. We're not worthy to sit at this man's table.
True.
Would you invent someone you perceive to be several levels below your caste system at your table, even if it is family?
Yes.
Like, what if your parents adopted a brother and kept him in the attic for 40 years, like that one Simpsons episode? And they came over and he's like, "Can I sit at your table, brother?" And you're like, "Hell no, you don't take showers."
Okay, fine.
Good.
I agree with you.
Chris is Dice Darg. Nope. Instead, Dice Darg's yelling at us, saying, "What madness possessed you that you would abandon your post to traipse about the desert?"
Good God. That's great. You know what mine is?
What?
What happened? Why did you go to Zelkos Desert?
Why y'all fucking around?
Yeah.
We hit him with the dots, but Dice Darg, my hungry dinner boy, ain't having it. Silence is not the answer I seek. Speak and be quick with it. Delita, the poor kid that no one trusts, speaks up first. He says it was his idea, and he's the one who forced Ramza to go. Now Dice Darg addresses Ramza, asking if Delita let his better judgment lead him astray. Ramza says no, he used his own free will, his will to power, to make his move. The boys then proceed to indulge in more feathery language, with Delita confessing, "'Tis Ramza's noble disposition that guides his tongue, my lord. It is not he," but then Ramza cuts him off and says, "You needn't be false on my behalf, Delita. It was I who chose to disregard orders." Chris, have you ever been false on someone else's behalf?
False on someone else's behalf. That's like taking taking one for the team or like
Lying to get your buddy out of trouble.
Yeah. I was on the swing set and
Okay, we're going back here, right?
yeah, and my friend, it was my friend Kevin. Remember him?
Yeah, fuck him.
He jumped off the swing set and landed in a pile of mud.
Oh, cool.
He wasn't supposed to be getting dirty.
Right.
I started laughing, and then he was upset.
Oh, did he start crying? Tell me he started crying.
I don't remember.
He started crying now. Go ahead.
And so that he would not be the only muddy one, I then got on the swing and jumped in the mud.
You also mudded yourself.
Yes, I also falsely mudded myself.
That's cool. I have a similar mud story. I'll tell you at a later date.
Okay.
Next question. Chris, when did you last disregard orders for your own benefit?
Is anybody listening right now?
Just the entire podcast listenership. No one in your family. Go ahead.
My wife asked me to get a stink bug out of the bathroom the other day.
You said you just left it there?
And I couldn't find it.
Uh-huh.
And I told her that I got it so she wouldn't be thinking it was going to fly in her mouth when she was asleep.
Tight.
And I just closed the door so it wouldn't get out.
So it's still in the house somewhere?
No, it showed up again the next day. I was like, oh, there must be another one.
Nice. That's good. That is a PG rate. I thought you were going to say I killed a guy and buried him in the back.
No.
Well, instead of that, Dystarg responds by going full cop. Might I pose a question, Ramza? What purpose do laws serve when even those who would enforce them choose not to pay them heed? Adherence to the rule of law is a knight's solemn duty. It falls upon us as Beowulfs to bear the burden of example.
If we do not lick the boots, who will lick the boots?
Yes, we make the boots to be licked. Is it your intent to live up to your name or to drag it with you through the mire? Chris,
Is the mire the mud?
I think a mire is similar to a bog.
Okay. It's worse than mud.
Yeah, it's like a steaming bog, a hot bog.
Okay.
Chris, it was just as we feared. Beowulfs see themselves as the alpha cops.
Yes.
See, my next question I'd written down was, have you ever seen a mire? But I think we've already done that. Have you seen a mire? Okay, good.
I've been to deep Florida.
Oh, lots of mires there. Yeah, Everglade adjacent.
Yeah.
Ramza lowers his head and asks his lord brother for forgiveness. Now, a new voice out of fucking nowhere is audible in text form from the back room. I believe the point is made. Is it not, Dystarg? The door opens and in strolls a bearded man in purple and red draperies.
Massive bowl cut.
Oh, he's got a bowl cut? Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. We noticed this when we saw him in the intro. He was the bowl cutman dressed like Helmer.
Do you think that'll ever come back, the bowl cut? Like mullets are kind of coming back for some people who can pull it off. You should get a bowl cut.
I'm not getting a bowl cut. Probably, like the singular mustache is back, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people rocking that around.
Yeah. I think
MO mustache only.
I think you've got to be like under, 26?
Yeah, to properly pull that off. Yeah.
Yeah. Or really thin. One or the other.
No, I think it's under 26.
Okay.
Ramza and Delita kneel. Argath kneels once he sees them kneel. Did you see that?
No, I missed that.
He looks at him, he's like, oh shit, then he kneels too.
He doesn't know who the fuck this is.
No, he doesn't.
But obviously Ramza and Delita do.
Chris,
it's Larg.
Fucking Duke Larg. He walks in to say, you must not let the how of it steal your eyes away from the what? Their rescue of the Marquis was no small feat. It is the way of young men to be impetuous in their haste to do great things. We were not unlike them once. It's the classic old reminding the other old of how they were once young, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Boys are just going to be boys, am I right?
You're right.
Well, Dystarg is not having the shit, telling the Duke, to coddle them is to do them disservice, your grace. They need to learn integrity. Chris, is that true?
They do need to learn integrity, but I don't think that these guys have not learned integrity.
They just chose not to exercise it right now with their youthful brashness to try and rescue a man?
I mean, they've been taught their whole life that their job is to suppress the pores and uphold the boots, right?
This is true.
And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They did disobey an order, but they did uphold the status quo here as best they could.
As best as they could. But even now at this point, I'm thinking they fucked up deeper machinations Dystarg had orchestrated.
That is true. That is true. There is a plot that they have unsettled a little bit.
Yeah. Larg no-sells that shit from Dystarg and asks Ramza to rise. That is Larg, right? L-A-R-G? Larg?
Larg.
Okay.
No changes.
Indeed, you are the very ghost of Balbanes. His fire burns in your eyes. I can see it. Such strength and vitality would be wasted atop the castle walls.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in your game, Balbanes is actually called Barnbeneth?
Barnbeneth, yeah.
Okay.
I had to look at my notes and find replace in my head as I said that.
Balbanes is the canonical retrograde amnesia pronunciation for Barnbeneth and Balbanet.
Will it let you name your recruits the names of people who already exist? You know how like Final Fantasy VII apparently won't let you call like Yuffie Cloud or something?
You can't call Surge Chrono?
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we gotta start trying that. Chris, do you think Duke Larg actually sees and believes that shit, some weird royal bloodline stuff, or is he just hyping Ramza up in front of his boys because he knew his dad? Excuse me, let me use modern terminology. Is he gassing his boy up because he knew his dad? Some real I believe in you shit, I'm the Duke.
Maybe he's trying to salvage the situation a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or he might not be privy to what Dystark has going on in the background either.
That too, also. And I think maybe he was trying to hint to Dystark to stop making Ramza guard the base.
Yeah. I've seen his fists. I've seen those monk counters.
Dystark eases up, conceding that since the Corpse Brigade is about done, Ramza can join up for some real action. He can lead a coordinated strike against one of their dens. Ramza bows his head, then Delete and Argath also stand up, bow, and move to exit the room. After the boys leave, Larg moves to stare out the nearby window. Dystark apologizes to the Duke. But then Larg hits him with some plot and lore. It was not your doing, Dystark. In truth, it serves only to show the caliber of man we were dealing with in Gustav. A change in plans was inevitable. Once the fool went and staged the kidnapping within our very borders.
So Larg was privy to the fact that Gustav was a plant in the Death Corps / Corpse Brigade.
Yeah, Gustav was their guy, and Gustav went rogue, is what I picked up out of that.
I don't know if Gustav... Well, maybe he did, but I think the intent of their plan was to plant somebody within the Corpse Brigade that was there to turn the Corpse Brigade into a Corpse Brigade.
Oh, okay.
Like into just a
infiltrate.
roaming den of thieves rather than a revolutionary sect. And they wanted Gustav in there to muddy the waters as their man on the inside to kind of be the cancer in the locker room.
Ultimately, though, I would assume they had him ready as their fall guy as well. They're going to kill Gustav no matter what.
Yeah.
Larg continues, and let us not forget, they did save the Marquis's life. He will now be honor-bound to acquiesce. In the end, your brother's deeds have placed us in quite the favorable position. So I think that's Larg elbowing him like, no, he didn't fuck this up, he made it better.
Yeah.
So Ramza fucked it up, but his innocence and deniability in the matter made it better in an idiot savant kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Dystark tells Larg the king's life now hangs by a thread, and they need to move quickly. Larg responds, "Indeed, my dear friend, I trust you will not fail me."
That was the first time I realized that this past scenario that we're going through right now was before the king's death.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the king was already dead because that was kind of how
Long live the king.
the initial story was set up. Question, the plotters here are plotting, right?
Of course,
there's
that's
lots
what they
of
do.
political plots going on. But my question is, are plotters scenario guys? Can scenario
They
guys...
have to. To make a plot, you have to conceive a scenario.
Okay, can it be a scenario if there are no divine elements or supernatural elements?
I was really hoping this game was going to proceed without divine elements, but I don't think that's in the cards.
Are those elements required in order for us to call it a scenario?
I mean, are they trying to resurrect or kill or find God? Is that what you're like? Does there have to be a God resurrection or execution somewhere in here?
Yeah, in order for us to call it a scenario, or can we just call it a scenario if there's guys plotting political stuff?
You know how, like, if you look at any modern problem, if you trace it back far enough, it always goes back to Reagan somehow?
Yeah, I guess I've never thought about that, but yeah, probably.
With any JRPG plot, if you trace the scenarios high enough, is it always killing or resurrecting God?
Yeah.
That's what it has to be. There is no other fate for this. It defines the genre.
Pretty much. I mean, I think the only game that we've played that really subverts that, at least kind of, is Suikoden.
Can you enslave God?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's one of the options aside from resurrect or kill.
We have regained control of our party, and we have a new area drawn on the map. It is called, in my game, the Thieves' Fort.
Brigand's Den.
Brigand's Den. Shit, I should start trying to guess these things. Did you hit a random encounter on the way?
I don't think so.
I did, and I killed all the monsters, but I did also get another incantation from Selfie, who is currently, she's an oracle.
Oh, okay, what's that?
They have yin-yang magic.
Mystic?
Mystic.
Mystic.
Yeah, I think they're called Mystic in your game. Yeah.
They have teleport?
No, that's Time Mage. Time Mage has teleport.
Interesting, okay.
Anyway, she casted the spell Paralyze. Mindless, spiritless, hear the immutable beat. Paralyze. Paralyze will not actually paralyze somebody. It just gives them the status effect, don't act, where they cannot use an action. They can only move. So it really should be called something different, but whatever.
Brigand's Den.
Yeah. Choose your combatants. Who'd you bring?
Oh, the Godsmack, El Nino, Korn, and Ramza. Spoilers, I'm like 20 hours ahead of this now. I'm still bringing Godsmack, Korn, El Nino, and Ramza.
Okay, good.
Somebody dies, the battle gets reset, Chris.
Okay.
Leave no man behind.
I'm bringing Ramza, Cindy, Hornston, Sally.
What is Sally? Is Sally just pick Sally? Sally Forth?
Cindy and Sally were just people I recruited. I didn't rename
You didn't rename? Okay,
yeah.
right.
Before I realized you could do that.
Chris doesn't customize his food.
Yeah. We open with the pitter-patter of rain.
Yeah, just rainfall.
Yeah, 2 white mages, a knight named Meluda, and 2 thieves are having an urgent discussion.
The rain sounds like a sped-up drum beat, but I still captured it for us, Chris. They're in like a burned-out structure. Meluda, our first lady leader, I think, speaks first. Their contact with the brigade is lost, and she fears that they are also lost.
I think what she's saying is that they're all over.
They're all over. That's true.
Because in my game, she says it's over.
The unnamed white mage cannot believe this shit. The other white mage responds, "We mustn't give in to despair, not until the nobles answer for all they've wrought." I'm kind of like, oh, hell yeah, cool.
In the PlayStation version, the white mage says it continues until the nobles apologize to us.
Which I don't think they're...
apologize is not a strong enough word. I mean,
apologize with their heads.
I don't think we're in a situation where the Death Corps just wants the rich people to say they're sorry for being rich and also their contributions to the exponentially increasing levels of inequality in the world. I don't think they just want them to say sorry. I think they want equality in this world.
Eat the rich.
Eat them.
Meluda acknowledges that shit is fucked, but pins the blame on her brother, who was too soft and too indecisive. Who's her brother? Do we know that yet?
We don't know it yet. We'll find out in like the next battle.
Okay. But then the lookout spots our party, and the brigands all turn around as music, Remnants, plays.
Yes, me and the homies have arrived.
This is where I predict that her brother is going to be revealed dramatically later. That's right, Chris. It'll be Matthew Silverberg back from Season 4.
We're all over.
Argath speaks, and he wants to get epic. "I owe you a debt of gratitude for rescuing the Marquis. I pray I'm able to repay it, even a little, by aiding you in this.
Battle start.
Objective, defeat Meludia."
I missed this the first time around, and I was 1 turn away from Sally, I think, disintegrating into the ether.
Evaporating into space dust.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to have time to kill this thief who has run off the far side of the map. And I didn't realize all I had to do was kill Meluda.
Yeah.
So I reset my game.
Good.
And did the battle over again, even though I probably could have killed Meluda before Sally or Cindy or
But now
whoever.
you'll never know. Chris, there's no fate but what you make. You're the player of this game.
Save states, baby. I like the music here in conjunction with the pitter-patter of rain. It gives a really good atmosphere to this battle. You really feel like you're the baddies on this level.
Yeah, they kind of, like, each progressive story battle we go through gets more and more intense as far as, like, what are we killing these guys? Can we, like, work something out?
Yeah.
But, like, all the people that we face in the Corpse Brigade and beyond are just as pissed at us as we'd be if we were in their position, which we are in most other games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're just unrelenting in how much they want us to die and won't negotiate.
We're pretty much, we pretty much are them in all the other games except for the beginning of Suikoden 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And we quickly turn.
Like, we're kind of like the monsters you fight in games where there is no negotiating. They're just, like, we can't communicate effectively.
Yeah.
The conversation cannot solve this.
It's beautiful. Did you get to the part in this battle where Meluda and Ramza stop for some intellectual, ideological sparring?
I did, after some other observations.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, there's a lot of different elevations and some guys behind walls, which I found to be quite vexing at the time.
Yes.
My next note is, please stop casting thunder on me.
Yeah.
My next note is, Ramza and Argath are killed almost immediately.
Okay.
My next note is, motherfucker, they all have 100 HP and I'm doing 12 damage.
Is this before you learned how to level up?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Next note, their black mage blizzarded 2 of their own people. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Next note, every turn I res Ramza, and every turn somebody kills him again. I'm out of Phoenix Downs.
Okay.
Meluda has destroyed all of Ramza's clothes.
Yeah.
I almost had Meluda dead, and she got the crystal I was saving for Godsmack, who she then killed.
Great.
I have Meluda with 1 hit left. My first attack with Ramza is blocked, and my second with El Nino misses. Then she kills Ramza, and I reset my game.
Good.
Final note, this is where I noticed if someone jumps in deep water, you can physically attack them.
Yes, correct.
Because they kept doing that. The cowards retreated to the pond.
Yes, yes. I think if you get in the pond with them, you can attack them.
I couldn't swing a sword? I'm going to say I couldn't swing a sword. Maybe some other attack. I don't know. I don't remember.
It may have to do with stuff.
Things.
Tactical things. I don't have any other battle notes before that except for I have 1 incantation because Cindy now knows Ice 2. Cindy is at this point in the game, is my time mage, but she is also bringing forth her black magic from her time as a black mage.
Right, you can have equip one other job class ability.
Yeah. So she's going time/offensive magic at this point in time. Drifting breeze, come down with fury. Ice 2. Is it called Blizzaga in this?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Try and cast Ice 2 during your big half marathon, Chris. on yourself to cool yourself down. Do the incantation. See if it works.
I'll have to write this on my hand. I'll forget.
There you
go. Yes.
So are you doing the Maluda gets on the mic at this point?
Yeah, this is like when the Gundam pilots are fighting and the comms are open and they're all talking about their ideological worldview while they're sparring with beam swords.
Yes, this happens quite a bit in fiction like this. How can you nobles live as you do and yet hold your head so high? We are not chattel?
I can't help you, Mike.
Chattel?
Fake net? What is that word?
I think it's chattel.
Chattel? What does it mean? Did you write it down?
Some of these I actually have written down, and not that one.
All right. Fake net.
Initializing fake net.
Chattel is a catch-all category of property associated with movable goods. Examples include leases, animals, and money. In this context, Maluda is stating that she and her friends are not animals.
We are humans no less than you. What flaws do you hold there to be in us? That we were born between different sets of walls? Do you know what it means to hunger? To sup for months on naught but broth of bean?
Oh my God!
Why must we be made to starve that you might grow fat? You call us thieves, but it's you who steal from us the right to live.
Wow.
Chris, can I change teams?
With only soup to eat for months.
These heavy-handed observations of class and the arbitrary nature of nobility and implicit caste system is working on me, the player. Can I join the revolution before Ramza does?
I think this all must have gone over my head as a young boy. That we were the baddies here.
That, or you have simply forgotten.
I feel like I didn't forget this part in Suikoden, though. I guess I played that a lot more.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. Like, I cannot go back to young Chris and ask if you understand the themes of this. But at the time, I was more heavily invested in fucked up shit as opposed to book learning stuff, which is what this was. Mm-hmm. Well, that pitch didn't quite sell Argath, who I had just brought back to life so we could wake up and say this. He counters with, you, no less human than we, ha, now there's a beastly thought. You've been less than we from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mother in whatever gutter saw you sired.
Holy shit.
You've been chattels since you came into the world drenched in common blood.
Holy God.
Chris, have you ever had a beastly thought?
Ooh. The most beastly thought I think I've ever had was when I was younger, I thought that it would be cool to eat raw meat.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Did you try it out?
No, I just because you know when you would touch the meat when it's shrink wrapped through the package?
Fuck yeah, I did that today.
I always thought that texture was cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, it's cold.
And I thought it would be cool to eat that.
Yeah.
And
Liver King eats it all the time.
I think that's a beastly thought. Also, I think the Liver King is just roided up.
Oh yeah, it's all bullshit. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
That's not an endorsement.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We need to do something.
The Final Fantasy Tactics Ye Olde English Insults Power Ranking.
The moment your base-born father fell upon your mother in whatever gutter saw you sired.
That's what I was going to say. Base-born father, I think, is
pretty good. And then you fell upon your mother.
Okay.
In whatever gutter saw you sired. Is that whole fucking thing an insult?
I think it is.
That's so powerful, though. Do we have to break it up? Do we have to break up the banks?
You've been a piece of shit since your dad fucked your mom in a gutter.
In a gutter, yeah. That's how poor you are, is your dad and mom, one of them had sex involuntarily with the other in the gutter.
That's an insult. I think it needs to all be one thing. And I think it needs to be number one.
It's also sandwiched between now there's a beastly thought and you've been chattel since you came into the world drenched in common blood. That is in between those two statements. He cuts a fucking promo there.
What, do we need to do the other ones too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because that's the others are a build up and a come down off of the main thought.
Okay. Is it number one?
I think that's gotta be number one.
All right.
That's fucking harsh, dude.
All right. So our new ranking is number one. You've been less than we from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mother in whatever gutter saw you sired. Number two, common footpad. Number three, vulgar knave. Number four, lackwit. Number five, whoresons. Number six, moppets. Number seven, wench. Number eight, squealer. And number nine, clod.
Clod. Whatever localization team member did this, I hope they just licked their feather that wrote that and then put it in their cap.
They would have had to. Yeah.
Okay, well, next, the camera spins back around. This is all optional shit, by the way. If you kill Maluda too fast, you don't get this.
Yeah.
The camera spins back around to allow Maluda to retort, and I love that it does this. I love that Tactics dialogue scenes are not static. Argath then goes full zealot, telling Maluda that it's heaven's will.
The
Chris,
will of heaven.
God wants me to kill poor people.
Yes.
Maluda can't believe that shit. Heaven's will, you would pin your bigotry on the gods. No god would fain forgive such sin, much less embrace it. All men are equal in the eyes of the gods. I remember being taught that some people justified slavery in the American South because black people were only 3/5 of a person, which meant that owning people was fine because they weren't people. Like that somehow eased any doubt or moral checks in plantation owners or their wives.
Yeah.
Like if they believe it's a divine command, then you cannot argue.
That's an
shit.
accurate read. That's a good analogy.
And it's like, no, I would treat them as people if they were people, but the issue is...
Now, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat right now because I want to know what Argath's retort is here.
It's pretty good.
Since yours is going to... I know yours is going to be better. Can we do mine first?
Absolutely.
Okay. Animals have no god.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, for this, it's pretty good, yeah.
His reply is something similar. Men, yes, but the gods have no eyes for chattel.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I like yours better, actually.
Yeah, actually, wow.
Maluda can't believe that shit. You speak of the devils, not gods. The disillusionment and re-education hour begins to work on Delita, who asks Ramza, not Argath, who he already senses his loss. He asks Ramza if Maluda is really their enemy. And then it's back to the battle where I instantly kill Maluda.
After this speech, Maluda instantly killed Argath.
Good.
So it worked pretty good.
I love that. That is emergent storytelling.
Question, did Delita bearing witness to this? Because he does actually... He has one line at the end, so like this affected him. Is this part of his radicalization process?
Yes, I believe this was instructional in the disillusionment and re-education hour.
His meter filled.
Yeah.
His radicalization meter is filling.
After you kill Maluda, the music stops completely, but only the rain remains, and Ramza tells her, lay down your sword, resist us not, and your life will yet be spared. So we killed her, but she's not dead yet.
Right. Congratulations, the battle is complete. I got 700 gil, an iron sword, and a bronze shield.
Post-battle, Brigand's Den. Same map, minus all the extraneous characters. It's our trio in Maluda. All of our little troops have been... They can go take 5, smoke behind the wall, whatever. Maluda's here, no music, rain continues to fall. Maluda is done with trying to convince our merry band of entitled shitheads that she's human. I'm no more than chattel to you, am I? So have my head and be done with it. But wait, the call of conscience and the observations of true reality are starting to work on Ramza too. He asks her if she truly thinks of them as so foul. And after Ramza says that, the rain and thunder and lightning really pick up.
Yeah, perfect timing too. It's deliberate.
Argath cuts another promo.
Yeah, I can't wait. I see a whole paragraph of the dialogue on mine here, and all I see are words. I don't care what they say. I want to hear what you have to say.
It's not the beautiful language of the gods.
Yes.
I speak with the god's tongue. Do it, Ramza. She fights as a corpse. Let her become one for true. She's a foe and a traitor, an enemy of House Beolv. The world has no place for such wretches. Her claim to life is forfeit. Spare her now, and you place your seal on the warrants of our own deaths. It's her or us, Ramza. Strike her down.
Such wretches? Can we rank that one?
Such wretches is pretty good.
Okay.
The Final Fantasy Tactics Ye Olde English Insults Power Ranking.
Are we doing such wretches or wretches?
I think such
has to be there. Such wretches.
Such wretches?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like such wretches, I'm looking at the list here, I feel like it goes maybe at number 7 below Moppets.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. Such wretches goes in there at number 7. I won't read the whole list again since we didn't make any major changes. And we already read the whole thing this episode. So there we go.
Argath is so fucking wanting Ramza to turn to the dark side. So like he essentially says the same thing 7 different times here. It's like just a chant of fuck this bitch over and over again.
It's like when you realize your friend is racist.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really had any of those moments. Well, maybe not your friend, but like some
coworker,
guy, some guy that you know. Yeah.
While Argath delivered that line, lightning flashed in the sky just when he finished, and I think that was like perfectly orchestrated. Like the increased commotion of storm, I think, was timed for Argath's promo. And I honestly wish that either Delita or Ramza would just kill Argath here and run away with Maluda and do rebel shit. But I think Argath is important enough to do that, to be a character for that. But I don't think this game's going to go that hard that early. Delita, it's him who comes to reason first. He says, try as I might, Ramza, I cannot think this woman our enemy. Argath gets so upset at that, and he asks if Delita has lost his wits. But instead, Delita turns to Argath and raises his arms with the I'm trying to reason with you pose. You know what I mean? Where they start doing this shit like fucking...
Yeah. They've got a few of those in the chamber there.
He informs Argath, this woman is no more chattel than you or I. And I think this is ego protection more than genuine suspicion, but Argath doesn't engage with any sort of reasoning here, instead telling Delita, "You would turn against our cause, Delita? I ought to have expected as much." Meluda stands and surprises me, telling the gang, "You deny me even the mercy of an honorable death. A pox on you and your pity. So long as you bear your name, Beowulf, you will ever remain an enemy to me. You do well to remember that." And then Meluda turns around, flings her cape, and hobbles off. She's all fucked up.
I think this is where Ramza is starting to fill some of his radicalization meter here, because he's being told that there's nothing that he can do and nothing that he can say to her that will matter because of his name.
Yes. I thought this was going to be capital letters the moment where Ramza would defect.
Yeah.
If Ramza even does defect, but I suppose we have further disillusioning to go.
Yeah. All we know at this point in time is that Ramza has become a mercenary in the future. So we know that he's not working for this side anymore. We don't actually know if he went to the other side or what.
Ramza then asks an important question. Delita, what have we done? How many times has a JRPG hero asked that shit? I don't think I've seen that in a game that we've covered on this, where they're like, "Oh, fuck, dude. Damn it."
Yeah, that is the downside to having a silent protagonist in Suikoden, because that could have happened in Suikoden 1 early on. Nothing that happens in that game is as, I guess, graphic as the things that happen in this game.
Yeah.
In terms of like what people are saying and how people are reacting to things.
I'm not intending this to be a sexist observation, but men especially are predisposed to, when they get angry, to filling their brains with testosterone and just saying God fucking knows what, and then doing terrible things in fits of anger. And I don't think I've seen JRPGs handle anger combined with an ethos quite like Argath here, and quite like Meluda's feelings toward us.
Yeah.
Like, they're really kind of playing with anger and aggression in ways that I don't typically see in the genre.
Yeah, that's a good observation. A really good observation.
Outside Eagrose Castle, we return in the rain. On-screen text tells us this is Eagrose, high seat of Gallion, the Beowulf of Mance. How do you feel about the word Mance?
Mance?
M-A-N-S-C. I think it's like the singular of mansion or something, or like a rude word.
It's just called Beowulf Castle in mine.
The screen is mostly sky, but there are a few spires of the manse poking up. Rain falls, and then music tension plays, and a dialogue box from a panicked Tietra appears.
Excuse me, a music pressure number 1 plays.
Well, Tietra, being pressured by number 1, demands to be released.
By the way, we talked about how her name is Teta in mine, and you said that sounded...
It sounds pornographic.
A little gross. Someone on the stream, and I have not verified this, but someone that on my stream the other day said that Teta is Spanish for tit.
We have a Spanish fake net just for this specific...
Spanish fake net?
Inicializando red falsa. Tit es efectivamente teta en español. Big fucking tits.
Okay.
Well, Tits doesn't want to go. The camera pans down to reveal a guy in green in a green hat making off with her.
It's a thief, excuse me, Eric. He's appropriately job classed right now.
He's thieving a lady.
Yes.
She's slumped over the saddle of a chocobo. 2 other chocobo mounts are present, and only one is mounted, and its rider is in green. There are also 3 slumped dead knights of opposing colors. It's the Corpse Brigade's work here, Chris. I can feel it, and they seem poised to complete this abduction. Someone named Gragoroth, one of the mounts.
Gragoroth?
Gragoroth.
Oh, I've got Golagros.
Gragoroth or Golagros, who can say? One of the mounts tells the other to be quick about it. Out of the doorway comes another Corpse Brigade member, this time hauling a lady out with them. Shit, dude, I think it's Alma. She begs them to let her go. They're hurting her, and she screams Zalbag's name. Damn, then Zalbag rushes out, collides with Alma's captor, knocks Alma aside, then stabs the Corpse Brigade guy to death.
I did not know that the sprites in this game could achieve the level of momentum that Zalbag came out of that castle.
Yeah.
Like it was really good and heavy.
The sprites aren't as detailed as the ones in Suikoden, but they do move around, and they are more expressive than you would expect.
They have a lot more canned animations to work with.
Yeah, that's true. So after he stabs that guy to death, his chocobo mount gets spooked and takes off. Gragoroth decides it's time to cut his losses, and he also takes off with Tietra. The camera dramatically swings around to reframe Alma and Zalbag in the center of the frame. He asks if she's unhurt, but Alma's more worried about Tietra. From behind, a hobbling and apparently wounded Dystarg stumbles out of the castle doorway. The angle of his sprite's head, eyes, and hair currently makes him look like a Gunstar Heroes character.
Yeah, I can see that. Gunstar heroes.
He says he's fine, and he asks how Alma's doing. Again, she's fine too, but she notices my dude is bleeding from the head.
Ouch.
Dystarg then makes it all about himself. In no fever dream would I have thought the brigade so bold to strike us here. They must have come for me. Did they just kill all the guards? Do they have guards?
They must have.
Smells fishy to me, Chris. Zalbag runs the numbers. 5 of their men, who are women, are dead, and Tietra was taken. Dystarg wants them found, and to search every den in Dovecote, if need be. Chris, what's a dovecote?
Bird shit?
It's a noun. A dovecote or dovecot is a structure intended to house pigeons or doves.
Oh.
Dovecotes may be freestanding structures in a variety of shapes or built into the end of a house of barn. They generally contain pigeonholes for birds to nest.
Oh. So that's where the term pigeonhole comes from.
Yeah, he's saying search every shithouse you can find.
Cool.
Dystarg signs off with bloody rebels and then collapses. Zalbag yelps for help, and the camera pans up as we fade to black.
All right, Eric. Well, what's next?
Next, we're going to go to Eagrose Castle in the next episode because now we're going to the RealNet.
Let's consult the RealNet. Hi.
Initializing RealNet.
Hello, RealNet. Eric Fernand says Zalbag always sounds like an insult. You fucking Zalbag. WP says, can we get a Brave Fence and Musashi bonus pod? I don't know, maybe.
It's possible.
Anything is possible.
I always tried to play that game and never really made it very far. Never really gave it the good old effort, though.
Rem Lazar says, the first time I rented this game, I couldn't beat the first battle where you have full control because I didn't realize you could add more than just Ramza to the party.
Yeah.
The choose your combatants UI is weird. You've got to press R and L.
Yeah, R and L to get through some stuff.
Cal L says, Ramza is a monk or ninja because those are awesome classes. Eric Fernandez says, all monks are ninjas. It's true.
Maybe. It's a precursor class, right?
I think so.
Like you have to be a monk to be a
monk is a
ninja?
precursor for a lot of things. Pork says Monk is probably the best solo class challenge. Oh, people solo the game.
Oh, just as one monk or all monks?
Just one monk, I guess.
Just Rams as a monk, no using anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it affords you that option, right? You don't have to bring everybody along to a battle.
Except the guest characters. Rem Lazar says it's a shame War of the Lions version got rid of all the random flavor text for spellcasts. I know, those would be so good if they were written in that voice.
Yeah, but if it says that every time, wouldn't that be tedious?
Yeah, it doesn't say it every time. It's random when it pops. M2 Mikey says Eric always wants Chris's stories to end with him crying. It's a good observation.
Yeah, it's great for the pod.
Yeah. Shy Guy 32 says the Bane of Balls versus the Lord of Necks. Who would win?
Oh, Necklord.
Yeah.
Necklord cannot be killed by traditional means.
Doppelganger secret.
Ballbanes is mortal as far as we know right now.
Yeah, I don't think he comes back to life or anything. M2 Mikey says Larg live action radish gardening.
I'm into it.
I always
It's an
garden.
acronym.
I always garden my radishes in live action.
Larg style. Larg that radish.
Eric Fernandez says I gotta make selfie that's a ninja with dual wielding 2 of the special swords.
Are there nunchucks?
Nunchaku. I don't think so. Shy Guy 32 says if the elevation difference is high enough and the units can't attack each other, water is deceptively deep. Eric Fernandez says 1 tile deep of water you can fight in. 2 tile deep you can only swim unless you have float or water walking.
I see.
Eric Fernandez also says chattel is livestock, which I kind of started to figure out by context clues because my game used the word animals. So
It's a fancy word for animals.
Dirty Brown Man says we went from class warfare to touching meat. I love this place. Yeah, we touching meat.
It's all the same stuff.
Beastly thoughts. Tactics and Chill TC says Argath wants to be the European champion so badly.
The title no one cares about.
M2 Mikey says Horse Sun is still top tier. Horse Sun, I think, is pretty high. Yeah, Horse Sun's still number 5.
It's very efficient.
Eric Fernandez says Argath is a perfect example of how these systems of oppressions continue. He's not mad it exists. He's mad he lost his place in it to bully people, and so he views everyone considered lesser in that system in amazing cruelty.
That's a really good point. Like, he's not anywhere near the top of his system, but he still feels like he needs to feel superior whenever he can.
Yeah, it's a good call. Rem Lesser says that animals have no god is a top 5 line in the original script.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. Shy Guy 32 says, wait, how long has Chris had that Mega Man sound effect on standby?
About a day?
I put it in today, but we discussed using it as a thing because Eric put it in post in one of the episodes. Probably the episode that comes out this coming week. Episode 5, I think, is when we first started using it. What was that guy's name?
Gragaroth.
Okay, I can't find the comment, but I saw it live in real time. Gragaroth? Dragonzord says Gragaroth to the tune of One Winged Angel.
Gragaroth.
Gragaroth. All right. Thank you, RealNet, for joining us this evening. We will see you on the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia. This episode was recorded on April 24th, 2024. Thank you, Mark,
Shepard,
for the hot sounds.
You're welcome, Chris.
If you're a new listener to this season, that's a cover of Tim's Man of the Sea from Xenogears.
Men of the Sea, indeed. Thank you to WorldSend for the podcast artwork. And thank you to all of our patrons at patreon.com/retroam for their continued support. You can go there and get bonus episodes, miniseries, access to a live recording stream, and more. You can find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. You can email us at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com, as well as a host of other places on the internet if you Google us. Until next time, Eric.
He would be a fool to hold back an army for fear of spilling a few drops of your common blood.
Beans. And now you may go back to sleep. Yeah, give me that chocolate milk. I've been drinking almond milk all week so I don't shit my pants.
Huh?
So, yeah, give me the chocolate milk. Then I can finally shit my pants.
Shit your pants.
Wait, I'm going to see like Office Joe, who's like, I'm running the mini. And he just trained for 2 weeks and now he's going to go. I'm going to see Office Joe's out there.
You're going to see that, but you're also going to see people running the full marathon, going for it.
Yeah.
And burning out and cramping, collapsing, falling over.
Look for is
this
the closest? Well, this will prepare me for the apocalypse, probably.
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
Just seeing people just run out of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
cramp, run out of energy, do stretches, scream. There's medical tents loaded with fuckers.
Yeah.
The worst is when there's a porta potty and there's a line for it in the middle of the race
because everybody's got to shit. I'm a little worried about having to shit because I had to shit during the 9-miler or the 15K. But I was able to suppress it.
Suppress the shit.
Yeah.
Plus the river's right there if it gets real hairy.
Yeah. Yeah. Never take a hairy shit in the river.
Nope.
Don't do it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. I started a Udian Chronicle.
How's that going?
100 Heroes.
Been getting rave reviews.
It has been getting rave reviews. I haven't gotten far enough to where I would be able to settle in on if the story is dumb and bullshit or not. But so far, I don't believe the story to be dumb and bullshit, but it is a slow start. And it's not an exciting slow start like Suikoden 2, it's just a slow start. There are wolfmen, though, and I like wolfmen.
Does the game work on what you're playing it on?
Oh, yeah, it runs great.
Okay.
I've heard that it runs like shit on Switch.
I mean, I've heard of some crippling bugs regarding character recruitment and locking you out of endings and stuff like that.
I've seen that, but I haven't played far. I looked up to where that is, and I haven't played that far yet. So I'm good. I started playing it on PS5 because I got my copy, my physical copy. But I
look who's getting a physical copy now.
Well, let's remember that I kickstarted this 4 years ago. So
and the PlayStation 5 didn't even yet exist.
Yes. So I got that and I started playing it on there, and it was a nice experience. And then my TV is often hijacked by my children. They're always fucking playing. Oh. You want to guess the 3 games they're always playing?
2K, Fork Knife, and...
You got one right. NBA 2K.
Minecraft.
Madden.
Oh, they're grown-up sports kids?
And Gang Beasts.
Okay, Gang Beasts is inspiring.
They showed the neighbor kids the Gang Beasts, and they all love it.
I mean, it's fine if your kids grow up playing sports games. I dabbled in sports games for a little bit. They weren't my sole focus, but I did buy Madden 97. I have Game Day 99.
It does teach, like nowadays, it does teach them the rules of sports, so that does help.
Are you saying NBA Jam and NFL Blitz weren't proper educational vectors for my knowledge of professional sports?
I am saying that. So anyway, I kickstarted it at a level that was high enough to where I also got a digital code for it. So I got that on Steam, and I'm playing on the personal computer / Steam Deck with cloud saves and whatnot. And that is a good experience as well.
Not that you shouldn't do that, but can't you tunnel into your PS5 with your Steam Deck or any personal computer?
Yeah, that sounds like too much trouble.
I don't fuck with you. There's too much trouble, and I do that. Are you serious?
I mean, well, maybe it doesn't sound like too much trouble. Like I've done that. I've done remote play before, but I have a Steam Deck.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, I was having a psychotic reaction to the word paralyzed. I'll tell you about it in the outtakes. Or fuck, we'll just cut it and put it there later. There was a song about 15 years ago called Paralyzer. I have no fucking clue who sang it, but this has happened twice in my life where I used to listen to the radio and on multiple radio stations, four stations, Paralyzer was playing simultaneously.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And I was just in my car, like fucking losing it at that. The only time that happened in my life was Crazy Town's Butterfly, of course. Okay.
You know how he sucks? Because he's like one of the only people that's buying ads on Twitter.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you see someone doing that, you know they're down bad.
So
He makes him look like a Gunstar's Heroes character.
yeah, I can see that.
Gunstar Heroes, not Gunstars. I mean,
Not Gun,
right.
Yeah, there's only one
Get a clean
Gunstar.
take. Gunstar Heroes.
Gunstar. Somebody had the water stuff, the water information. I'm trying to find it. Good God. Touch the meat. Good God. Touch the meat. Good God. Touch the meat. Good meat. Touch the God. Good meat. Touch the God. Meat. God. Meat. God. Meat. God. Meat. God. Meat. God. God.
Playtime!